The Gunpowder Plot of 1605 remains one of history's most infamous tales of conspiracy, rebellion, and betrayal. This audacious attempt to overthrow a monarchy was a dramatic moment in British history and a reflection of the time's deep religious divisions and political unrest. At its heart was Guy Fawkes, whose name and image have been immortalized, particularly on Bonfire Night, a tradition that continues today. To understand the Gunpowder Plot, it is essential to grasp the religious turmoil of the era. By the early 1600s, England had been grappling with religious conflict for decades. The nation became sharply divided after Henry VIII's break with the Catholic Church in the 1530s and the establishment of the Church of England. Protestantism became the dominant faith, but a significant portion of the population remained loyal to Catholicism. When King James I ascended to the English throne in 1603, hopes were high among Catholics. James, the son of Mary, Queen of Scots, had Catholic lineage, and many believed he might be more tolerant of their faith. However, these hopes were quickly dashed. James not only upheld the strict anti-Catholic laws of his predecessors but also imposed even harsher restrictions. Catholics were banned from openly practicing their faith, excluded from positions of power, and faced severe penalties for defying Protestant worship practices. Frustrated by the unrelenting persecution, a group of Catholic men decided that drastic measures were needed to bring about change. The leader of this conspiracy was Robert Catesby, a passionate and determined Catholic who believed that violence was the only path to religious freedom. Alongside Catesby, a small but committed group of plotters joined forces, including Thomas Winter, Jack Wright, Thomas Percy, and, most famously, Guy Fawkes. Fawkes was not the mastermind but played a critical role. Born in 1570 in York, Fawkes was raised as a Catholic and later fought as a soldier in the Spanish Netherlands, gaining experience with explosives. This expertise made him a valuable asset to the group. The conspirators devised a bold and dangerous plan. They would blow up the Houses of Parliament during its state opening, killing King James, his government, and many Protestant leaders. This act, they hoped, would create chaos, allowing them to install a Catholic monarch. In 1604, the plotters began their preparations. They rented a property near the Palace of Westminster and used its cellar to store barrels of gunpowder. Over the following months, they secretly transported 36 barrels, enough to cause a massive explosion. Guy Fawkes was tasked with guarding the gunpowder and was to light the fuse at a critical moment. The conspirators planned to execute their scheme on November 5, 1605, during the state opening of Parliament. The occasion would bring together King James, his family, and key figures in government, all in one place. However, as the day approached, cracks began to appear in their plan. One of the plotters expressed concern that innocent people, including some Catholic members of Parliament, would be killed in the explosion. In a moment of hesitation, he sent an anonymous letter to Lord Monteagle, a Catholic nobleman, warning him to stay away from Parliament on November 5th. Monteagle took the letter to the king's advisors, who, at first, were skeptical. But as the date neared, the authorities decided to investigate further. On the night of November 4th, a search of the cellars beneath Parliament uncovered Guy Fawkes, disguised as a servant and guarding the barrels of gunpowder. He was arrested on the spot. Under interrogation and torture, Guy Fawkes initially gave a false name, John Johnson, and claimed he was acting alone. However, after days of suffering, he revealed the identities of his co-conspirators and the full extent of the plot. The authorities moved quickly, capturing or killing the other plotters. Robert Catesby and several others died in a firefight, while the survivors, including Fawkes, were imprisoned in the Tower of London. In January 1606, the surviving conspirators were tried for treason. They were found guilty and sentenced to a brutal death. They were to be hanged, drawn, and quartered, a gruesome punishment meant to serve as a warning to others. The Gunpowder Plot had profound and lasting consequences. The government used it to justify even harsher measures against Catholics. Anti-Catholic sentiment surged, and laws restricting Catholic rights became even stricter. November 5th was declared a national day of thanksgiving for the king's survival. Over time, this evolved into Bonfire Night, celebrated with bonfires, fireworks, and the burning of effigies. often representing Guy Fawkes. Though the plot failed, Guy Fawkes' name became synonymous with rebellion. His image has been reinterpreted over the centuries, evolving from a symbol of treason to an icon of resistance against oppression. The Guy Fawkes mask, popularized by modern culture and films like V for Vendetta, has become a universal emblem of protest and defiance, worn by activists worldwide. The story of the Gunpowder Plot continues to captivate people, reminding us of the complexities of faith, power, and resistance. From the dark cellars beneath Parliament to the blazing bonfires of November 5th, the tale of Guy Fawkes remains a potent part of British history and culture.